This only exists in Bhutan, and believe me, you will be extremely shocked by the end. Today, you will learn 15 shocking facts about one of the most incredible countries in the world. Are you curious? Join us, and let's go. Number 15. The country without slaughterhouses. Let's start with a shocking fact. In a unique move that reflects its core Buddhist values, Bhutan has banned slaughterhouses entirely on its territory. While meat consumption is not prohibited, all meat consumed in the country is imported from neighboring countries such as India and Nepal. This extraordinary policy is deeply rooted in the Buddhist belief in the sanctity of life. Approximately 40% of the population follows a strict vegetarian diet. The laws are so strict that even animal owners are not allowed to slaughter their animals, but must wait for them to die naturally. The sale of meat is completely banned during specific months and on important religious festivals. This unique approach has created a unique market. Butchers only operate during specific hours and must follow regular purification rituals. Meat imports are strictly controlled, with rigorous inspections to ensure that no animals have been slaughtered on Bhutanese soil. Number 14. The most inaccessible fortress in Asia. Bhutan's isolation is not a mere accident of geography, but the result of a meticulous strategy of cultural preservation. Paro International Airport, the country's only airport, is considered one of the most dangerous in the world. Its solitary runway was built amid mountain peaks that reach 5,500 meters in altitude, requiring pilots with special training for landings and takeoffs. Only 8 pilots in the world are certified to operate at this airport. Access by land is equally challenging. The only 3 routes from India, Duranga Road, Bhutan Road 152, and Phuntsholing Thimphu, are winding roads that snake through dangerous gorges. The process of visiting the country is even more complex. Independent travelers cannot obtain visas and must hire local agencies that charge at least $200 per day. Number 13. Historical isolation. Until 1974, Bhutan remained completely closed to the outside world, maintaining a voluntary isolation that preserved its unique culture. The start of tourism that year was carefully planned, with only 274 visitors allowed in the first year. By 2019, that number had grown to over 300,000, still modest compared to other Asian destinations. In 2023, the government implemented a revolutionary policy called High Value, Low Impact, establishing a sustainable tourism tax of $200 per day. This strategy aims to protect the country's natural and cultural heritage while generating revenue for social development. The controlled tourism system includes mandatory guides, pre-approved itineraries, and strict limits on the number of visitors in sensitive areas. I have a question for you. First, I'd like to tell you that it's possible to keep up with the biggest curiosities of our world every day. But for that, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So have you subscribed yet? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Now that you've done that, let's go. Number 12. Pepper culture as a lifestyle. In Bhutan, peppers transcend their role as condiments to become a central part of food culture. Every Bhutanese home proudly displays long strings of red peppers drying in the sun, a spectacle that brightens facades and rooftops throughout the country. This national obsession has deep roots in traditional medicine and in the country's adaptation to the harsh Himalayan climate. The thermogenic properties of peppers help Bhutanese people cope with temperatures that can drop to 40 degrees Celsius in the highest valleys. The most famous variety is the Sha'ama, grown exclusively above 3,000 meters, known for its unique flavor and medicinal power. Annual festivals celebrate different varieties of pepper, with competitions in the cultivation and preparation of traditional dishes. From breakfast to dinner, practically every Bhutanese meal includes peppers in quantities that would surprise even the most courageous connoisseurs of spicy food. This tradition is so important that there are specific laws protecting the traditional cultivation of peppers, considered an intangible cultural heritage of the country. Number 11. The total war on tobacco. In 2004, Bhutan revolutionized its public health policy with one of the strictest anti-tobacco laws ever seen on the planet. The government not only banned the sale of cigarettes, but also completely criminalized the cultivation, harvesting, and sale of any tobacco-related product throughout the country. The punishments are severe. In addition to astronomical fines, offenders can face up to 3 years in prison. Enforcement is relentless, with special agents monitoring commercial establishments and public spaces 24 hours a day. Tourists face a complex bureaucratic process. They must declare each cigarette at the border and pay taxes that can reach 200% of the original value of the product. The impact of this policy was impressive. Bhutan recorded a 90% drop in the number of smokers in just a decade. Hospitals report a significant reduction in cases of respiratory diseases, and life expectancy has increased considerably. This radical measure has made the country the first and only completely smoke-free territory in the world, serving as an example for nations seeking to combat smoking. Number 10. The Temple of Fertility. The Chimi Lhakang Temple, known worldwide as the Fertility Temple, represents one of the most intriguing aspects of Bhutanese culture. Every year, thousands of couples struggling to conceive make a pilgrimage to this sacred site, built in the 15th century. The temple was founded by Lama Drukpa Kunli, known as the Divine Madman, a historical figure who challenged traditional religious conventions with his unique way of teaching Buddhism. The fertility rituals performed at the temple combine deep spiritual elements with unique symbolism. Pilgrims receive special blessings that include touching sacred relics and chanting ancient mantras. The path to the temple passes through lush rice fields and traditional villages, offering an immersive experience of the local culture. Stories of miracles and successful pregnancies after visiting the temple abound, attracting people from all over the world. Number 9. The city where traffic lights are forbidden. In an era dominated by automation, Thimphu, the capital of Bhutan, stands out as the only capital in the world without a single traffic light. The story behind this peculiarity is fascinating. In 1995, the government attempted to install the first traffic light at the city's main intersection. After exactly 24 hours of operation, a crowd of citizens protested in front of the royal palace, arguing that automatic signals were cold and impersonal. The king ordered the immediate removal of the equipment, replacing it with traffic policemen who, since then, have coordinated the flow of vehicles with traditionally choreographed movements. These guards are trained not only to direct traffic, but also to greet drivers and pedestrians, transforming each intersection into a community meeting point. The efficiency of this system is astonishing. Thimphu has one of the lowest traffic accident rates among Asian capitals. Number 8. Phallic symbols as protection. One of the most striking features of Bhutanese architecture is the ubiquitous presence of painted and carved phallic symbols on homes and buildings. This centuries-old tradition goes far beyond mere decoration. It represents a deep belief in protection against evil spirits and negative forces. The Bhutanese carve these symbols from wood and hang them from rooftops, and paint them on exterior walls in various colors and sizes, considering them sacred amulets of good luck and prosperity. The origins of this practice date back to the 15th century, when Lama Drukpa Kunli used unconventional symbolism to teach spiritual truths. Far from being considered vulgar, this cultural element is treated with deep respect and reverence. Skilled artisans dedicate their lives to perfecting this traditional art, creating intricate pieces that are passed down from generation to generation. Number 7. Polygamy allowed. Bhutan's marriage system defies all global conventions about relationships. Both men and women can have multiple spouses at the same time, a practice that permeates all social classes, including royalty. The current King Jigme Kesar Namgyel Wangchuk broke centuries of tradition by marrying a commoner, while his father, King Jigme Singye Wangchuk, had one of the most famous cases when he married 4 sisters in a single ceremony. Bhutanese women enjoy unique privileges. They can have multiple husbands without the need for formal ceremonies, while maintaining complete autonomy over their marital choices. The system particularly favors women in rural areas, where polyandry helps in the management of agricultural lands. After marriage, it is common for men to move into their wives' family home, cementing the central role of women in society. In the event of separation, husbands are required by law to provide financial compensation to their wives, ensuring their economic security. Number 6. Extraordinary biodiversity. Bhutan is home to one of the richest and most diverse ecosystems on the planet, making the country a unique natural sanctuary. The Himalayan foothills are home to over 165 species of mammals, including the rare Bengal tiger, snow leopards, Asian black bears, and the curious species of fanged deer. The bird life is impressive, with 612 catalog species, some of which are unique to the region. The flora is no slouch either. There are over 5,000 different species, including 600 varieties of orchids and 50 types of rhododendrons. Environmental protection laws are extremely strict. Killing a black-necked crane, a bird considered sacred, can result in life imprisonment. This natural wealth is preserved thanks to a unique environmental management system, where local communities actively participate in conservation. Travelers have the unique opportunity to explore this biodiversity through ancient trails, Participate in traditional festivals that celebrate nature and visit centuries-old monasteries perfectly integrated into the natural landscape. Number 5. Dry Tuesday. Deep in the Himalayas, Bhutan has a unique relationship with alcohol. With over 5,400 bars spread across the country, most of them concentrated in the capital Thimphu, Bhutanese drink an average of 8.47 liters of alcohol per adult annually, exceeding the global average of 6 liters. The local industry produces an impressive array of beverages, from craft beers to unique red wines, light spirits for aperitifs, and potent liqueurs. However, every Tuesday, known as Dry Day, a strict law completely bans the sale of alcohol throughout the country. This unique regulation aims to promote moderation and awareness of responsible drinking. Establishments that violate this rule face heavy fines and may lose their operating licenses. Interestingly, this weekly restriction has contributed to the development of a unique drinking culture, where traditional festivals celebrate the local production of ara, a distilled rice drink considered sacred in religious ceremonies. Bhutanese bars are known for their welcoming atmosphere, where stories are shared and friendships are forged, transforming alcohol consumption into a meaningful social experience. Number 4. The last nation to allow television. Until 1999, Bhutan remained the last country in the world without television or internet. This policy of technological isolation was not a coincidence, but a conscious decision to preserve traditional cultural values. The Bhutanese believed that too much information could lead to harmful social comparisons, excessive competitiveness, and unnecessary exposure to global violence. When the king finally allowed these media outlets to enter the country, he set strict guidelines for their implementation. Local channels prioritize educational and cultural content, with a strong emphasis on programs that celebrate Bhutanese identity. Internet access is controlled, with filters that block content deemed detrimental to national values. This gradual transition to the digital age has allowed Bhutan to maintain its unique balance between tradition and modernity. Number 3. The happiest country in the world. Nestled between India and China, Bhutan defies all conventional metrics of development. Despite being among the world's most modest economies, with significant poverty and literacy challenges, the country has earned the title of the world's happiest nation. This apparent contradiction is explained by the country's unique concept of gross national happiness, which prioritizes spiritual and emotional well-being over traditional economic indicators. Research shows that the combination of stunning landscapes, clean mountain air, and strong cultural identity creates an environment of deep contentment. Buddhism, practiced by the majority of the population, promotes a life based on compassion and altruism. The absence of violent crime and less pronounced social differences contribute to this unique harmony. Simplicity permeates all aspects of life. It is not uncommon to see members of the royal family playing soccer with local children without protocol or discrimination. Number 2. Pioneering in social assistance. In a world where social inequality is constantly growing, Bhutan stands out for having no homeless people. The unique social welfare system ensures that any citizen who loses his or her home can directly apply to the king for a piece of land to rebuild his or her life. This revolutionary policy extends to healthcare and education, which are completely free for all native citizens. The government allocates approximately 18% of the national budget to maintaining this comprehensive social welfare system. Hospitals combine modern medicine with traditional Bhutanese practices, offering unique holistic treatments. The education system, inspired by Buddhist values, integrates academic development with moral and spiritual formation. Schools in remote areas receive special support, including free transportation and meals for students. Number 1. The nation never conquered. Bhutan has a remarkable historical distinction. It has never been colonized or controlled by foreign powers, even though it is situated between giants such as India and China. During the era of British colonialism, when virtually the entire region was under foreign rule, Bhutan maintained its sovereignty intact. This historic independence has profoundly shaped its national identity. Rather than celebrating an Independence Day, as other nations do, the Bhutanese celebrate December 17, 1907, the date on which the first king of the Wangchuck dynasty assumed the throne. This date marks the beginning of the modern monarchy that still governs the country. The resistance to foreign domination was made possible by a unique combination of factors: challenging mountainous geography, astute diplomacy, and strong cultural cohesion. The narrow passes and passes of the Himalayas served as natural defenses, while strategic alliances with powerful neighbors provided additional protection. Are you interested in visiting Bhutan? Tell me in the comments below. Take advantage and tell me which country you want to be the subject of the next video. And now that you've visited this country, I'm going to recommend you learn about the dirtiest countries in the world. You'll learn about the shocking reality in India, where women openly defecate on the streets. Click here to check it out. Well, that's it. And until next time, curious one.